she's so fine. Hell of a hell of a blows my mind. Hell of a lights my day.
What's good, guys? Today is Thursday, December the 30th, 2021. This year is almost done. I was contacted by a subscriber, Miss Bella, super sweet lady, who asked me to please get her story out there. She wants this story out there, and I don't blame her. This story is regarding domestic violence and child custody, and it needs to be told. But instead of me telling it, I'm going to let her tell it via the email that she sent me. I'm also going to show you videos that are going to break your heart. If you have a heart, it will be broken. I'm already going to guarantee it. The reason I'm putting this out there for her is she needs some advice. She needs some help. We need somebody to help her. And I thought, what better way than to go ahead and get this video out there. And I might even do a live about it to see if we can brainstorm on what we can do to help her. I'm going to go ahead and get into the email now. I also want to mention that this case is coming out of the Los Angeles, California area. So for anyone that subscribes to this channel that knows anything that can help this lady from that area, please pay attention to this case. I'm going to go ahead and let Miss Bella tell her story. I have been discriminated against and my civil rights have been violated by CPS, Child Protective Services. CPS acted under color of state law. I was 3 months postpartum when my children were removed from my care, placing 3 children with their dad, who was out on bail for a second domestic violence case. My oldest son was placed in a foster home due to the fact that my kid's father isn't my oldest son's dad. On the initial CPS report, they wrote that dad had no criminal history. Reread that. On the initial CPS report, they wrote that the dad had no criminal history. Yet here he is out on bail for a second domestic violence case. It took CPS 6 months for the referrals that I needed to start my classes and get my kids back. My kid's father is not even a U.S. citizen. I am a U.S. citizen. And even after showing CPS that my children and I have been a victim of his abuse, they didn't care. I had no visitations with my children for a year. My oldest son was placed in 7 different homes. I wasn't even able to talk to him, let alone didn't even know where he was at. He was in these places from February of 2020 when he was removed until December of 2020. That's when she finally saw him. I would always ask to see him, but they used the excuse of COVID, yet exposing my son to COVID and other foster moms. 2 days after my kid's father was granted full custody, he got arrested by the LAPD. That case was in 2013 when he punched me in the face. He never initiated any classes that LA County was requiring him to do. He was in LA for a week, then he got transferred to Murrieta for a warrant he also had in Riverside. Just didn't lower his bail amount, for the reason that he was getting charged with 5 different charges. He was there for 3 months. Yet CPS had the opportunity to leave the case open, but as soon as they found out that he was in jail, they immediately closed the case. I was never notified about the last court hearing, neither by appointed attorney or CPS. I didn't find out he had full custody until 3 months after he had the custody. He came out of jail in April, and in June of 2021, I had to file a police report because he threatened our 7-year-old by telling him, "I'ma beat your ass," and the other one, "I'ma beat the fuck out of you." To me, those are acts of violence. No child should be threatened. I called CPS tip line to make the report because my 7-year-old had told me that the reason he didn't want to go with his dad was because he gets hit with a sandal, belt, or hand, that his father and uncle would hit him. I asked for a different worker to be sent. 2 days after, I get a knock on my door. and it's the same worker that had closed the case. I told her I didn't want to speak with her. She said she was going to tell her supervisor and let her supervisor give me a call. A week passed and the supervisor calls me. I sent her the video containing what was said to my son. She said she was going to look at it. And I will show this video, and it is going to break your heart. She calls back and says that she's not a video, and she's understanding my frustration, that they had a long conversation, and a week passed, and the supervisor calls me, and I sent her the video containing what was said to my son. She said she was going to look at it. Nobody's later. She calls me back and says that she's not a video, and I don't know why it explains that part again. Goes through and says they had a long conversation with Dad. This is CPS now. They had a long conversation with Dad, and they explained to him that he cannot talk to kids like that. That if I wanted to have any type of modifications on her custody, which she doesn't have custody, that I should go to family court. I'll ask my son if a worker went to talk to him, and he said yes. And he told me that he did tell her we're being hit by Dad. And I asked my son if a worker went to talk to him, and he said yes. And he told me that he did tell the worker that he was being hit by his dad, and that the worker told Dad, and my son got in trouble for it. So the son said, hey, my dad's hitting me. The worker told the dad, and then the dad punished the kid. Now he's terrified to even say anything because he thinks he's going to get in trouble. This is a 7-year-old. I was so furious that I ended up calling the regional manager from Riverside County. And it was like talking to the wall. My children are still being abused by my kid's father. Now, this is just my reply back to her when she initially contacted me. I just said, thank you for reaching out to me and having the courage to do so. And thank you for sharing. If you don't mind, could you please tell me what state you're in and also more of your story? I'll do my best to help you, and if I can't, then I will get you in the right direction. And that is exactly what I'm trying to do here. And I need any subscribers' help. I need comments. I need suggestions. This is the actual paperwork from the County of Riverside that she has sent me, where the judge signed off on it. I blocked out everything that needed to be blocked out. But the check mark down here says, may have peaceful contact with the protected persons named above as an exception to the no contact or stay away provision. All right. She had no contact. Then they said may have peaceful contact with the protected person. Then it says the protected persons may record any prohibited communications made by the restrained person. All right. That's exactly what she did. This is also a copy of the Criminal Protective Order of Domestic Violence. Must not attempt or actually prevent to dissuade any victim, witnesses, attending a hearing. Must not harass, strike, threaten, assault. Must not own, possess, buy, or try to receive contraband. It's a basic protective order. And she has it. Okay? Now, this is a copy of the actual paperwork where CPS said there was no criminal history located for Mr. R, the Riverside County Superior Court website, on the Superior Court website. On March the 4th, 2020, the father stated that he was charged with terroristic threats and kidnapping on November the 19th, 2019. He reported having a court date on March the 18th, 2020. The father further stated in 2014 he was arrested and charged with domestic violence due to an incident with the mother, Mrs. And I blacked it out. He stated he was ordered to complete a 52-week domestic violence class and complete 18 days of community service. The father reported that he has completed 12 classes of anger management. Then in handwriting, she wrote, like the detective said, CPS failed to do their research. A simple search of the internet would have revealed that the father had, in fact, been arrested. had in fact a criminal history. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and give you fair warning. These videos will break your heart, but they must get out there. People have got to see that by not doing your job correctly, this is what happens. And it's a shame. I'm telling you, it hurt my feelings so bad when I watched it the first time, and I've had it on my mind ever since. And I'm not even going to say anymore. I'm just going to play the videos, and then we're going to come back and look at messages.
Who's the stupid one here now? Who's the stupid one now? You are, right? Let me hear you. Who's the stupid one here now? Who's the stupid one now? You are, right? Let me. Who's the stupid one here now? Who's the stupid one now? You are, right? Let me hear you. Who's the stupid one here now? Who's the stupid one now? You are, right? Let me.
I can't come anymore.
Okay, then you're not going anymore, and then I'm gonna call you grandma, and I'm gonna tell her to go pick you up again. And if you don't come, and if you cry, I'm gonna go over there for you, and I'm gonna beat your ass. I'm gonna spank you, Papa. I'm not gonna do that again no more, Papa. You're not gonna be doing whatever you want. You're not gonna do that. You're not. You're not 18 years old. You're not nothing. Either you're gonna do whatever I tell you, what grandma tells you, or your mom tells you. You're not gonna be doing whatever you want. No, not no more. So you either get your ass right now with grandma, or you want me to go get you. What do you want? Hurry up, go with your grandma now.
He doesn't want to. He's saying no. Like, I don't know what to do.
Nathan. Mira, cabrón. Mira, te vas con tu grandma. Ahorita yo agarro una puta van y me voy por ti. What do you want? You want me to go for you, or you want to leave with grandma? You're not gonna stay. You're not gonna stay. You're not. Nathan. Okay, you know what? Tell my mom to leave him. I'm gonna go get him right now.
No,
Okay, then push
Just
it.
listen, you wanna go?
Go to grandma now.
Yeah, listen. I don't want your dad to spank you, okay? I know.
Nathan, you better shut the hell up. I'm not turning around like that. I'm not playing around like that. I'm not getting your pig. Look at the I'm over there. Right now, I'm gonna get your pig, and I'm over there.
No, Kevin!
Me andaba portando mal, ¿verdad?
I don't wanna go!
Okay.
I wanna
Mira, por eso no te quedes
stay!
ir.
Mommy!
Nathan, agárralo para ti.
Mommy!
Stop.
I don't wanna go!
Este besito lo voy a cumplir, no te voy a traer. Hermana, no vas a venir.
I don't wanna
Mientras te
go,
sigas portando así.
Mommy!
¿Eh?
No!
Oye, se- Mijo. Mijo. Ya me hartaste. Cállate.
Mijo, you have to listen. You have to listen. Ya está hablando con César.
Ey,
¿Ya se subió?
mira este cabrón, me está haciendo su puto show. Ya me emperré. Ahí lo voy a dejar.
Ok, espérame. ¿Ya se subió, pero no se subió?
No, lo estoy cargando a huevo, el cabrón.
Déjenlo aquí al hijo de la...
Ok.
Well, go to the house. Go to the house.
I don't want to go with Daddy.
Go to the house.
I don't want my
Go to the house.
dad to hit me.
he's not. He's not. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want my dad in the house.
Now, Miss Bella also sent me these messages, and I'm going to show them to you. That is, of course, a picture of the man in question, her ex. This is coming from a detective's phone. It says, "Do you know this man? If so, who is it? And how do you know him?" This is from Detective Vaughn's cell phone. She says, "Yes, I do. That's Caesar. He's the father of my 3 kids." He said, "Thank you. I'll call you from my desk phone in a bit." He sent a picture of his detective card, showing that, yes, I am an actual detective from Riverside, California. She says, "Michelle Blank is a CPS worker's name." He says, "Okay." Then she has this message that she showed. It says, "Hello, the court continued your hearing to 6/8/2020. She says, "Okay, could you please talk to Dad and say that I will not tolerate getting talked to like this. There's absolutely no reason why he has to belittle me. The day I called him because the kids were playing and I was walking to my apartment, and if they would have seen me, they would have cried," which in fact, and it cuts off. But his message is very clear. It says, this is a message from the child's father to her. "Don't ever fucking call me at all, dude. To me, you ain't shit to my kids or nothing. So leave me the fuck alone. Lose my number. I don't want to know shit about your hoe ass." Okay? Very mature parent. Okay, this is a continuation of the message that was cut off. It says, "Could you please talk to the dad that I will not tolerate getting talked to like I just showed you. There's absolutely no reason why he has to belittle me. The day I called him because the kids were playing and I was walking to my apartment, and if they would have seen me, they would have cried," which in fact they did. It's a very hard situation, and I just asked him if he could just take the kids inside so they wouldn't cry. Well, he said, "No, I don't give a fuck." Then he sends me that nasty email. Again, there is the email. I mean, just nasty. I can't imagine how she felt getting that. Okay. It says, "Did you receive the stimulus check today? I'll address the email with the dad. I sent the screenshot and sent this text. At some point, it will be a good idea for you and the mom to learn to co-parent. The kids are very young, and despite you guys not being in a relationship, you guys will continue to be involved because of them." I don't like that, because that should have been really directed at him instead of the both of them. Okay? She's obviously trying to co-parent with this man. Then she says, "My text to him goes for you as well. You and the dad need to learn to co-parent for the sake of the kids." And then sent the detective card again. Then there's this. It says, "He is trying to get a hold of you, preferably tomorrow." So, okay, I haven't gotten a call. What is this regarding? She said, "Not sure. He just told me right now on the phone that he is trying to get a hold of you. If you could please contact him. He will be out for 2 weeks after tomorrow, so preferably tomorrow." And he said, "Okay, do you have a case? Why are you involved with a detective?" So this must be from CPS. And she says, "Yes, I do." And the CPS worker says, "For leaving blank home alone." She says, "I don't have the case number." "No, that's for domestic violence. It's against the dad. Domestic violence unit." And the social worker says, "Something recent? Can you tell me what it's about?" Like, do your job. Do your damn job. It says there's a restraining order. And Caesar, the way he has been talking to me, it's harassment. I filed a report in February, the day I got out of jail. He sent me nasty text messages, and I'm tired of keeping quiet. I shouldn't have to be disrespected at all. The CPS worker says, "Okay, I got it. I'll call the detective tomorrow." She says, "Okay." Then the CPS worker contacts her again. It says, "Hi, what's blank's social security number?" That's one of the children. She said, the detective is asking to please call him. So Miss Bella is telling the social worker, "Call the detective." She says, he called and left a voicemail. He needs to speak to you urgently. And by the way, what is your name? So this lady still hadn't even identified herself with Miss Bella. She says, no one has called me. All of my calls are directed to my cell phone. I'll call him shortly. And then when she sends a text, it sends her name, Michelle Blank. She says, again, please send me Blank's social security number. She said, ask Dad for it. Dad should know the social security number of a son. She said, I'm asking you. I need it for our files. Miss Bella says, the detective told me to stop answering these personal questions and for you to give him a call. Once you talk to him, he'll give me the okay to talk to you. Michelle, the social worker, says, I left him a voicemail. I'll be addressing your text with him. And Miss Bella said, that's fine. Then there's this. Hi, yes, I visit the home monthly. I'll contact the father regarding your concerns. Miss Bella says, I don't understand why Dad won't let me FaceTime with the kids. You know that I would call his father, the kid's grandfather, and there wouldn't be any problems. I spoke to Blank 2 days ago, and he doesn't want to FaceTime me with the kids because the dad, Caesar, makes everything so difficult and yells at him. The social worker then sends back 6 days later. Hi, we're having a family meeting teleconference at 5/8/2820 at 11 a.m. It's to discuss services and answer questions concerns. I'll call you so you can be present. 6 days later. Now this is the rest that was cut off from this message here. All right. The dad yells at his own father and makes things difficult. And he's so tired and frustrated of getting yelled at by Caesar. So from this point forward, I don't know what to do. You keep saying Dad and I have to get along, yet no one knows the amount of crap I have tolerated throughout the year that I won't go by his rules. So she says, a family meeting with, like you didn't even say who all was going to be present in this family meeting. She said, I had sent a text on May the 14th and my question was ignored. So I hired an attorney. It seems like you're taking sides, and it really does. It seems like this person, Michelle, doesn't want to do her job. The social worker, Michelle, says, your contact with me is very limited. I previously texted you and said visits remain suspended due to the coronavirus. You may contact me anytime to schedule FaceTime with the kids, but you have not. The phone meeting will be with our mental health clinician, our facilitator, Erica, and myself. Miss Bella says, I never was told that I was supposed to call you first to schedule a call or a video call with the kids. Does Caesar know that I'm not supposed to have any visitation with the kids because of COVID-19? Caesar called me about a month ago asking if I want to see the kids. That's the same message. If I want to see the kids. It took me about a half a day to... It took me about a half a day to call him back and give him an answer because I know I wasn't supposed to have any visitation at that moment. I called him and told him, yeah, the kids were walked by their grandmother to my stairs and they were with me for about 20 minutes. In between those 20 minutes that I was with my kids, I called Caesar asking about the baby, that I would want to see him too because Melanie had spoke that he was up watching TV. When I spoke with the dad, he yelled and said he was asleep. I just hung up. A couple of minutes after that, he calls me, sends me emails saying to send the kids back. And as I was getting ready to send them back, he sends more emails saying that if I don't send them back, then he was going to call the law. Then she says, law enforcement, that I had the kids after the fact that he sent them to me. Being the fact that I don't have custody and don't want any more problems with law enforcement or having anything added on, I just walked them to their grandparents' house.
Then I don't want to be even nice to you. capa.
Let me see. Think so? Good? So the court date for Wednesday, it went pretty good. They were trying to terminate my services, and that didn't happen. So my son is here with me, and I have custody now. This is only for my oldest son. Now for my other ones, I have to go through family court. So it's one of those situations. It sucks. I miss him. As you could hear in the last video, my son's voice that he wants to be here. He doesn't even want to be with dad. You can hear him, he's gonna get mad. He shouldn't be terrified to tell his dad anything. I had a conversation with my son, and he did tell me that he told the CPS worker that his dad hits him. Dad found out that he said something, and he got in trouble for it. So now they say when they tell me things and I go and tell CPS, the story does never consist because they're scared of their dad. And I really do not know what to do anymore.
Now, those videos that I just showed show very happy children with their mother, a very loving mother. This woman has been through hell and back for these children. Her oldest son has been through hell and back. Postpartum is no joke. For those that are not familiar with it, I suggest you do research on it. It is no joke. It's a very serious matter. But what really bothers me is that CPS put these children in harm's way simply because they didn't do their job. No father should talk to their children the way that man does. Period. On period. And he definitely should not disrespect the mother of his children. It really pisses me the fuck off. I'm just going to be all the way 100 with you. I'm going to keep it a buck. So if there's anyone out there that can help this lady, guide her in the right direction, get her a number, a name of somebody that she can contact, I would be greatly appreciative, as would Miss Bella. I'm going to keep following up on this case. I'm not going to turn it loose because I just know there's some help out there for her. So I'm going to end the video on that note, but I thank you all for watching. And if you would love to share her story, she would be much appreciative. Much appreciative. Maybe there's someone else out there that can get her in the right direction. So thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Have a great day.